All right, here we are. Our feature story tonight takes a closer look at negative individuals who leave you emotionally drained. You understand that. Toxic people can put a big strain on your mental health, but there are ways to avoid them, so let's find out. Because joining me tonight with some helpful tips is Dr. Chloe Carmichael. She is a New York psychologist. Good to have you back.
Great to be with you, Ernie.
Yeah, it's a good subject, you know, especially this time of year, right? I read a quote once, and it said, people are like elevators. They can bring you up or down.
Exactly.
A lot of truth to that, right? Yeah, you have to be careful.
Very well said.
Yeah, well, you have some typical types of personalities, and we're going to kind of break it down right now, because the first one that you come up with is that narcissistic personality. Tell us about that and what we can do about it.
Sure, Ernie. Well, psychologists say that there are two types of narcissists. There's the benign narcissist, which is fine. They just like to look in the mirror. And then there's the malignant narcissist. Ooh. They like to put you down to make themselves feel better. Yeah. That's the one to watch out for.
So what do we do about that? How do you handle it?
Well, I mean, if they're really insufferable, you can just stop communicating with them. Another thing you can do is you can just actually let them know that what they're saying is not appreciated.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes that is enough of what we call a narcissistic injury for them that they'll stop with those comments.
I like that. Okay, there's another one on the list. It's called a frenemy. Kind of a jealous type, right?
Yeah, a frenemy would be almost like another version of the narcissist who just almost masquerades like a friend just so that they can get close to you, but they're really just using it as an opportunity to bring themselves up.
So what do you do? How do you handle that type of person?
Yeah, well, it's very similar with the narcissist. I mean, what you can do is what we call in psychology is to narrate your experience. You can say to the frenemy, I actually really like you. I'd like to be friends with you, but when you do X, Y, and Z, it drives me away.
There you go.
So then the ball is in their court.
Right up front. Okay, then there's the classic negative type, right? This is like misery loves company kind of personality, yeah?
Exactly. So psychology studies do show that people bond through complaining. And so sometimes that negative person is actually just trying to get closer to you.
Yeah.
So what you can do again is to narrate your experience. You can say to the person, I realize that sometimes people bond by suffering together.
Right.
I'm someone who bonds through positivity. So what do you think that we try to focus on the positive today?
Good. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I like the good advice you're giving us. Okay, then we have like the personality that's kind of a combination, a seductive type person and someone who is overly dramatic, right?
Well, drama and seduction do sometimes go together, and those people can actually be a lot of fun.
Yes, they can. They're very attractive in many ways, right?
Yeah, the trick is just to learn how to set some boundaries around them. So that's the person that might call you at midnight because they've just discovered their curtains are the wrong color or their life is in shambles. And for them, it might be one and the same. So what you can do with somebody like that is you can say, look, I'm really glad that you feel you can call me, but I can't do this right now. Could we do it at, say, 10 a.m. in the morning? And if they can respect you, then that's great. Then they can continue to bring that drama and pizzazz without having it go overboard. Yeah,
basically you say for us to be cautious and be upfront and honest. You've also come up with something, an acronym for toxic, right? Explain that.
Exactly. So in toxic, the T is to just, first of all, try tabling the issue. Sometimes we jump to thinking someone's toxic when maybe they're just having a bad day. The O is for out. We do always have an option and even a responsibility to get out of a relationship if we're really labeling it as toxic.
Yeah. X.
The X is to examine yourself. So sometimes we're actually attached to the victim or the martyr role. And the I is to invite the person to talk. Sometimes people say that, you know, they've just never even put their feelings out to the person.
And the C?
And the C is to chat with your support network. If you feel like you've tried everything and you're at your wit's end, talk to a friend, a therapist, clergy, get some support.
All great advice. Dr. Chloe, thanks so much for being here. Okay,
Thanks,
good holidays, too.
You too.
Thanks a lot.